Looking back, it's almost surreal how quickly everything unraveled with Daniel. I'm Olivia, 32 years old, and as I sit here in my childhood bedroom at my parents' house in Dallas, I can't help but laugh, bitterly, not happily, at how different things turned out from what I had once envisioned. I had it all planned, or so I thought. A love story that was supposed to last, a future that was meant to be steady and fulfilling. And yet, here I am, picking through the wreckage of something I destroyed with my own hands. I met Daniel at my friend Rachel's housewarming party. She had just bought the kind of home I had always dreamed of, charming, warm, filled with the kind of love and stability that seemed so effortless for her. Walking into that house, I felt a flicker of envy. Rachel had it all together: her dream job, a fiancé who adored her, and now this perfect home to complete the picture. Meanwhile, I was single, exhausted by the revolving door of dating apps, convinced that I would never find someone who truly understood me. And then there was Daniel. Tall, dark-haired, with an easy confidence that made him stand out in a crowd. But what really got me wasn't his looks or charm, it was the way he listened. Really listened. That night, we talked for hours, and for the first time in years I felt something unfamiliar yet exhilarating: hope. Hope that maybe, just maybe, I had finally met a man who wouldn't turn into another disappointment. For a while he was everything I had ever wanted. Daniel was good to me, too good if I'm being honest. He showed up always. In the little ways, in the big ways, in the ways that truly mattered. He made me feel safe in a way no one else ever had. Our relationship moved quickly, but it never felt rushed. Within a year we were engaged, and by the next we were married. It was the love story I had always dreamed of. And that was the problem. It was too easy. Too predictable. Too stable. Somewhere along the way I started mistaking his kindness for weakness, his patience for complacency. He wasn't the kind of man who swept me away on impulsive adventures, who made reckless, grand romantic gestures. He was steady, reliable, the kind of man who remembered exactly how I liked my coffee, who sent me flowers just because. And instead of appreciating him, I resented him for it. At first it was small things. I teased him about being too nice. I rolled my eyes when he double-checked if I needed anything from the store. I laughed along with my friends when they joked that he was more of an husband type than a boyfriend type. And I let them because deep down, a dangerous thought had taken root. Had I settled? Had I chosen comfort over passion, security over excitement? That doubt festered, slow at first, then all at once. The night everything fell apart, we were at a dinner party with friends. It was one of those warm, easy nights filled with wine and laughter. Someone brought up relationships, how we end up with the people we do, whether love is fate or just timing. And before I even realized what I was saying, I laughed and blurted out, honestly, if I could do it all over again, I probably wouldn't have married Daniel. The room fell silent. The kind of silence that makes your stomach drop. And then I looked at him. Daniel was staring at me, his face unreadable, his grip tightening around his wine glass. Wow, he said finally, his voice quiet but sharp. Good to know. I scrambled to take it back, to explain, to soften the blow, but the damage was done. I saw it in his eyes. Not anger. Not hurt. Just emptiness. That night he didn't yell. He didn't argue. He simply went to bed without another word. I told myself we would talk in the morning, that he would shake it off like he always did. But when I woke up he was gone. His closet half empty, his toothbrush missing. And on the nightstand, right next to our honeymoon photo, was his wedding ring. I stared at it, my mind struggling to catch up with what my heart already knew. He wasn't coming back. I called. No answer. I texted. Nothing. At first, I told myself he just needed space, that he would cool off, that we would figure things out. But a week passed. Then another. Then a month. And slowly, painfully, I realized, this wasn't a fight. This was the end. The worst part? He didn't just leave. He moved on. While I was still frozen in shock, still trying to make sense of what had happened, Daniel was rebuilding his life. And one day I saw it for myself. I was walking downtown when I spotted him sitting at an outdoor cafe laughing. And across from him sat a woman who was everything I wasn't. She was effortlessly beautiful, the kind of woman who didn't need validation, who didn't second-guess herself. And the way he looked at her, the way he used to look at me, shattered me. I wanted to march over, to say something, to remind him that we had a history, that we had built a life together. But I didn't. Because deep down I knew I had lost him. And worse, I had never truly deserved him. Regret is a slow poison. It doesn't hit you all at once. It creeps in piece by piece until one day you wake up and realize you ruined your own life. That you had something rare, something beautiful, and let it slip through your fingers because you were too blind to see it. Daniel didn't leave because he stopped loving me. He left because he finally realized I would never love him the way he deserved. And now he's making another woman happy, while I sit here in my old bedroom staring at the past, wondering how I let everything fall apart. They say you don't know what you have until it's gone. But the truth is, sometimes you do. You just never think you'll actually lose it. And when you do, it's already too late.